the alliance between China and Russia is growing stronger. However, there are some problematic aspects in this relationship. Although it has been presented as a solid and unbreakable alliance, not everything is going as expected in practice. China is not providing military support to Russia, as it knows that it could result in negative consequences for itself. Nevertheless, China has been assisting Russia in economic matters. For instance, during the pandemic, China offered transaction and payment methods. Additionally, it is helping Russia address financial issues by utilizing its payment system and engaging in joint business ventures. This allows Russia to avoid relying on the American financial system. As Russia faces difficulties in selling gas and oil to Europe, China has become an important new customer in this aspect. Despite these economic interactions, the relationship between China and Russia poses problems for the democratic world. Both countries are large, powerful, and have authoritarian regimes. Their alliance suggests the formation of a new bloc that poses a threat to the West and the democracies of the free world. North Korea and Turkey may also join this bloc in the future. This alliance represents a dangerous rival to the free world, and in a possible scenario of war, these countries would be united against their opponents. It is important to note that the alliance between Russia and China is something new, as they were rivals in the past and even fought a war in the 1960s. There are disputes over influence and territories in Central Asia, and China's expansion concerns Russia in that region. However, due to its unfavorable position, Russia finds itself compelled to accept what China is doing. For China, this alliance is beneficial as it ensures access to cheap energy without depending on maritime transportation. China has a massive population, although it is no longer the largest, as India has surpassed it in that aspect. On the other hand, Russia has a vast territory, being the largest in the world by land area. This brings advantages to China, which views its relationship with Russia as a laboratory to prepare for possible future situations. It is important to pay attention to the development of this alliance between the two countries. In the event of a confrontation or war between the West and China or Russia, the situation would be problematic as these two countries could unite in mutual support. However, it should be considered that Russia is not a comparable power to the United States and China. While it possesses nuclear weapons, it lags behind in terms of overall power. Currently, there is much talk about a multipolar world, where multiple power poles coexist. The unipolar period occurred after the end of the Cold War, when the United States became the sole superpower. The bipolar period was characterized by the rivalry between two superpowers during the Cold War. However, when we look at history, we realize that the multipolar world, characterized by alliances that affect the balance of power, is more complex than imagined. The alliance between Russia and China cannot be considered a true alliance, as there is no solid military commitment from China to save Russia. On the other hand, examples like NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, with the United States and other similar alliances represent true alliances with guarantees of military defense. Therefore, the historical multipolar world was characterized by major powers shifting alliances, as was the case with Russia aligning with France in the 19th century, causing concerns for the English, who attempted to intervene. Although China has shown significant growth and is considered a threat, it is important not to fall into the idea that it will inevitably defeat the United States. When examining the history of competitions between major powers, we see that there are four possible outcomes. One of them is a peaceful victory for one side, as was the case in the Cold War, where the United States peacefully defeated the Soviet Union due to the internal collapse of the Soviet system and the willingness of leaders like Gorbachev to accept defeat and transform the Soviet Union. However, it is important to note that China currently does not present a scenario similar to that of the Soviet Union at that time. China does not have leaders like Gorbachev who are willing to accept power losses peacefully. Therefore, it is necessary to delve deeper into the possibilities and outcomes in a confrontation between China and the United States. People may be surprised if China does not emerge victorious, as the idea of its invincibility is pervasive, but we must consider that history shows different outcomes in these competitions between major powers. To conclude this video, I would like to thank everyone who has watched and followed along until now. If you enjoyed the content, I kindly ask you to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to receive more updates on geopolitical topics and relevant discussions. Your participation is crucial for the growth and strengthening of this space for learning and knowledge exchange. Don't forget to activate the notification bell to receive all the latest updates. Share this video with friends and family who may be interested in the subject, as it helps us reach an ever-growing audience. Thank you again for the support and viewership. I hope to see you in future videos. Until then.